Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I support the legislation, and I want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, for including, as you mentioned in the bill, H.R. 2711, which is a provision I introduced earlier this year as standalone legislation to block the Trump administration's attempt to roll back a key EPA rule that's been helping to curb our nation's methane emissions. Methane is one of the most potent greenhouse gases on the planet. It's 84% more powerful than carbon dioxide, and it's frankly a driving force behind our ongoing climate crisis. Climate experts around the world agree if we're going to be serious about combating the climate crisis, then we have to take steps now to stop the methane emissions. The previous administration did exactly that. Because more than 1/3 of all methane emissions in this country come from the oil and gas industry, the Obama administration in 2016 issued a rule that required all oil and gas rigs across the country to take steps to capture this harmful pollutant instead of just releasing it into the atmosphere. This common sense rule has been both an inexpensive and simple way for the industry to curb its emissions of the highly potent gas. It's been hailed as a success in some of the nation's top oil and gas producing states, like my state of Colorado, where companies have been able to both reduce their methane emissions and also continue to increase their profits at the same time. And it's led some of the nation's largest oil and gas companies to invest millions of dollars in reducing methane emissions. So despite the widespread success of this rule, the current administration is now attempting to roll it back. Why? I don't know, and I don't think we can let that happen. Rolling back the rule would reverse much of the progress the country has made in fighting the climate crisis. It would allow more than 340,000 metric tons of methane and 270 metric tons of other hazardous air pollutions to be released into our atmosphere in just the first 5 years alone. The current administration claims that it's rolling back this rule to save companies money. But that claim has been directly contradicted by some of the largest oil producers themselves. Companies like ExxonMobil, Shell, and BP have all spoken out in support of the EPA regulation of methane. Climate scientists from around the world agree we have to stop the worst effects of the climate crisis, and the U.S. has to take the lead in reducing our emissions of harmful superpollutants like methane. Rules like this are helping us achieve that goal. Reversing them now will just set us back years and only exacerbate the crisis that we should all be working together to solve. So thanks again, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.